Baby Driver is a 2017 Edgar Wright action heist film. It's one of my favorites to revisit. Ansel Elgort plays the main character, Baby. Lily James plays the sweet love interest, Deborah. What an all-star cast, though. Jamie Foxx, John Hamm, and Kevin Spacey. So let's talk about this movie and give some love for this underrated film. Despite being a box office hit, a lot of folks haven't seen or even heard of Baby Driver. I actually found that it was actually streaming for free. I'm like, wow, that's even news to get out here and talk about because I had never done a video on this one. It's actually one of those underrated gems. And one of the things I have to give Edgar Wright credit for, he introduced me to some fun music that I really was either not familiar with at all or don't listen to regularly. So it was really nice to do that. And every time I watch this movie, I go back.
I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy
Now,
Bell Bottom.
Baby, he's a getaway driver. There's little teams that are put together by Kevin Spacey's character, and it's one bank job or it's one sort of heist. It's one thing after another. And what you end up unpacking is why is Baby doing this? What is his obligation? What's he like in real life behind the scenes? Is he a good guy? Is he not? How will that all come to a head, right? Can he ever escape this life per se if he actually falls in love with Deborah? Yeah, that's right. Lily James is this waitress at a restaurant he goes to, and it gives him reason to try to move on with his life.
Well, if you have any more questions, just holler. B-A-B-Y, baby.
I have a question. What's that song you're singing?
And actually, to be honest, Lily James is really, really sweet in this role. He's really interesting in this role. Everything about this and their chemistry completely works for me. I have to be honest, I've never been a huge fan of either one of them, sort of like regularly in any of their other projects. It's sort of like a hit and miss, but together they were just phenomenal in this film. All right, the star of the show is actually Baby when he's driving. He is just phenomenal. He is surrounded by these amazing actors. In the first heist, obviously, you have a getaway thing that happens, and he's in this red car. And there's this great shot where they go under an overpass. He finds other red cars. He jumps over the median, gets in between them, changes location, throws the police off. Just everything is very well coordinated. The stunt team does a great job. All of it is just remarkable. You have some great music that he listens to. Is kind of part of his personality, how he deals with things, and it kind of his tendonitis that comes out in the film is part of like what that's attributed to. But it really is. It really, let's be honest, it taps into all of us guys and our fantasy of having great music on when you're driving, especially if you can drive fast. That's really what it taps into. It's done perfectly well. I didn't give a lot of love for everyone in the film, but I mean, John Bernthal has a role. Obviously, we mentioned John Hamm and his girlfriend, his love interest. But when Jamie Foxx comes on the scene, things get really screwy and really, really wacky. And that actually kind of is part of the shtick that goes and when things start to go sideways for Baby and everybody in the film. Here's a little shot of young Baby and the accident that kind of sets up his life and what actually happens, and then kind of how we fast forward to what's actually going on. But anytime Baby's behind the wheel, it is just a blast. It is so much fun watching all of the different scenes as to how they thread everything together to make him sort of like this remarkable savant of a driver. And then trying to figure out, he's going to basically be out of his obligation to keep living this life of crime and living this sort of like commitment that he has and move on with his life and this incredible woman that, he just met. All right, here's a shot of Jamie Foxx. He is, even if it's not revealed in the movie, or really if you can put your nose on it, he is the villain in the film because all of his decisions are the reasons that things continue to unravel or at least speed up to unravel. Like it would have possibly unraveled on their own, but he's speeding the process. He is completely unhinged. He is completely nuts. He makes decisions. He pulls the trigger. He does things and revels in it. And there's great lines that he has. His nickname is Bats. He's bat crap crazy. And he is really, really a fascinating look at this type of life and what this would kind of look like. He has that sort of like Tarantino swagger that he kind of, brings into this sort of like life where it's not really gritty and realistic, kind of like Mean Streets is, but it's more like that Tarantino banter and how they kind of get along. They kind of lead dual lives. He has a great line like, you're in it for the money and the sex and the drugs or the action. And like some of that really hits the nail on the head, and it's really on the nose with other characters. So one little gag that's really kind of fun was revealed in the trailer here. You can see Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. He has a small role as a member of one of the heist teams, and another member was sent out to go get, quote, Halloween Michael Myers masks. And of course, the person comes back with Mike Myers Austin Power masks. So it does play for some levity. It does keep some of the tension, especially here because the tension is really, really ramped up in the sequence of this heist and what actually happens. And then you have sort of like the gung ho good Samaritan that's going to go after them stealing from an armed car. So all of this is really, really very, very fun to watch. So for me, I really can't say enough good things about this. I mean, at the anchor of the movie, it's Ansel Elgort and Lily James, but Kevin Spacey plays this great sort of like fathery boss. He's monstrous, but then at the end, it's kind of the only contrivance or the little twist that doesn't make any sense at all. He's been betrayed by baby. It's thrown the wrench in his entire operation, but he's like, oh, go on, Lugbirds. I'll take care of the situation at the end, which is kind of the weakest silliness element of the film. Like, why is all of this transpiring the way it is? How did John Hamm's character escape the police? And there's pieces of things that, again, it's Edgar Wright land, man. Go along and have fun in the journey. Don't think too much. But that keeps it from being like an elite film. It keeps it from being like an 8 or a 9. Let's just be honest, right? It's a super, super strong 3.5 out of 5. Very rewatchable, a lot of fun. For me, I love it a little bit more than that 3.5 because I get what it is. I can see it for its problems. I can see the warts and look past them. And I got to be honest, it gets a lot of bonus points for me because of the music. I am just immersed. I have watched just clips of some of those scenes, him driving. Movies like American Graffiti and even like Point Break, I got to be honest, have all tapped into sort of like the visual and the music and just how you can kind of get immersed into all of this. And while it's not like an elite heist caper movie, because it also is fun, lots of action, it just, like I said, it just lends itself to just being a great way to turn on. So that's my take on it. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you've seen Baby Driver or not, what your thoughts are or not, and what other movies, heist movies, caper movies that you might want to recommend that I can try to squeeze in. Because I've been enjoying this genre. I've been going down this a little bit more, rewatching from favorites and finding a couple of new ones along the way.